Kathy Thomas, and I'm in Orange at the satellite location of Laguna Culinary Arts. And with me is Octavio Montoya, who is the executive chef instructor. And he has been invited to take the Complete This Dish challenge and come up with a dessert to go with a recipe that appeared in the Orange County Register for oven-braised short ribs. So, Octavio, you're going to make a banana dessert?
Yes, we are going to make a banana dessert. I'm going to basically start by adding all the ingredients into the food processor. And we already have in here sugar powder, powdered sugar, flour, and salt. We're going to mix that to make sure that it's well mixed. So pulse it a couple of times. Then we're going to add the butter.
So this is going to be the crust.
This is just going to be the crust.
All right.
So we're going to
just pulse it a few times.
Pulse it a few times.
And what are you looking for here? How small do you want the butter to be?
Well, we want the butter to get very well mixed into the flour so that it makes a crumbly crust.
Okay. Does it matter if your butter's cold or at room temperature?
The butter should be cold. And you can see it is nicely crumbly.
Right.
So what we're going to do now is we're going to dump it into a removable bottom Tart pan. And if you can see, it's a removable bottom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That makes unmolding easy, doesn't it?
Exactly. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna spread it out, and using our thumb, we're gonna press against the side so it comes up.
Right, and that crust is just going into that fluted edge, and that's going to make it very pretty. And you're really exuding some pressure against the side of that mixture so that it really does form an edge in your pan.
Yeah, and so that it stays.
Right.
And as you can see, it's really nice and crumbly, and I'm adding some heat with my hand.
Boy, that's sure easier than using a rolling pin.
Oh, it is.
Look at how
it's
fast
a lot easier.
Goes.
Okay, it came all
That's
the way
great.
up. It's ready to go, and now it goes into the oven.
Okay.
Now don't forget to poke the tart with the fork. Go all the way around.
And that makes it crisp, doesn't it?
It does. It lets all the moisture from the butter escape, and it doesn't let it bubble.
Right.
And then it goes into the oven for about 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, so now we're gonna make the almond cream. And you know, sometimes when you go to the store, you can find the almond meal anywhere. So a good way to do it is by adding sliced almonds, blanched sliced almonds. All we are is creating a blended flour with the almonds. And what's gonna happen here is that the flour is gonna help some of the moisture that is still in the almonds will go into the flour. It will keep it kind of like mixed. It'll help on keeping it separate instead of becoming like
a mass,
a ball. We'll stop it, and you can see how it's nice.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of like a nice flour meal. Okay, so now that we have our flour, now we're gonna start our sugar and butter dump it into the mixer.
Right, and you've got the paddle blade on the.
We have the paddle blades so that it doesn't whip. And then we are going to go on full speed for about a minute. Just to combine butter and the sugar, and so that the sugar starts to melt. So you can use the pedal, the same pedal, to scrape the sides, and then it goes down. And then all we have to do now is add our flour meal. And we're also going to add 1 whole egg and 1 egg yolk.
All right. One
So
whole
here's
egg, and I assume those
one
are
whole
raw
egg.
eggs. And we want a yolk.
And a yolk. This will help to make it kind of creamy and give it some body.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, you always want a little bit of vanilla flavor.
Right, and you want pure vanilla extract.
Yes, so we're gonna kind of watch it. Working in the kitchen for so long, you can kind of notice how much 1/2 teaspoon is. There we go.
Perfectly measured.
Okay, so now we're gonna turn it on medium. All we want is to mix the egg
Right.
with all the other ingredients so that it looks creamy. Once you achieve that creaminess texture, it's time to stop. Okay, so at this point, it's okay to shake the pedal against it. It's nice and clean.
Ready to go.
Put it away.
So we're
And
just waiting on the crust.
it's time to get our crust
Right.
and start working on putting the creamy almonds and bananas. Okay, so we're gonna start cutting the bananas. So we open the bananas just using the tip, and then we peel it just like that, pull it out, just leave it right there. Really ripe bananas go great in a bread.
Right.
In
So
a
do you
bread
think our crust
pudding
is
or
ready?
our
You
crust
think
is
our
ready.
crust is
Our
ready?
crust is ready. See how our crust looks a little brown? Make sure you hold it by the side so that you don't push the removable bottom. And see how beautiful brown it is? Okay, so what we do now is we'll get this delicious almond cream. We're gonna dump it right in the middle. And then we're gonna spread it out all the way to the edge, really nicely and slow.
Now, could you make the crust in advance and have it at room temperature?
You can make the crust the day before or in the morning or a few hours ahead of time, and that should help. So we have spread out our cream, almond cream, and what we're gonna do now is we're going to slice our bananas, and you want to remove the first cut.
Right.
And then we're going to slice them all about 1/4 inch on thickness. You can slice all your bananas or do it one by one to see how much you're gonna need. And then we start laying it down against the edge.
And you're overlapping them a little, aren't you?
We are, because we want the bananas to have a nice crust and also be moisture.
And I bet you're going to do this in concentric circles. So you're going to
We
pull
are.
all the way around the outside, and then you're going to go a little smaller and a little smaller.
Exactly, so that we finish right at the center and it's gonna look great. So right on top, we're gonna put some brown sugar crystals. So sugar cane, and we just sprinkle it on top. And don't be afraid to add sugar. It's just gonna caramelize and it's gonna make it look like it's a nice crumble tart. And just cover
You're
the
being a little
banana.
generous, aren't you? It looks
Of
really
course.
pretty.
This is gonna go back into the oven for about 20 minutes or so. And it's gonna come out great.
And what am I looking for? Do I want it to be nicely browned on top?
What you're looking for is you want it to be nice and brown and caramelized right on top. Just like the name of it, caramelized banana tart.
There you go.
So we are ready to put it in the oven, so we're gonna pick it up, run over to the oven. Okay, so it's time to pull out the banana tart. Just make sure you hold it with a nice towel. Make sure it's dry so you don't burn your fingers. Pick it up, bring it to the counter. And all we have to do is remove it from the bottom.
Yeah, you have to
After
let
it
cool
cools down.
before you do this.
After it cools down,
Yeah.
yep. Pick it up. Then you can just leave it on the plate
Right.
and start cutting on it.
So that removable bottom is now still on the bottom of the top.
Of course, it's gonna let you cut to it. It's gonna help you.
And look at how perfect it looks.
It looks beautiful.
I mean, it looks perfect,
It looks like I wanna eat it right now.
right?